Well, hello there. A couple of things. First, I want to teach you a method for loading your pipe, just in case you're new. I'm not. It was in the last month, the first day of the last month, of the 199th year of our independence, that I began to be a pipe smoker. That's June the 1st. The reason I remember it, in 1976, the reason that I remember it is that it was my maternal grandfather's birthday, and I had been to his house, of course, to offer my best wishes on his birthday and hug his neck and tell him I loved him. And he was a great old man. I'll tell you stories about him sometime, I promise. We called him Papa. And he rode. I came back to my house, and just a few minutes after I got back, my friend Larry, whom I hadn't seen for an entire school year, because he had gone off to college and I was still in high school, rode up on his motorcycle, and he had a Middle-earth t-shirt for me. I didn't know they existed. It was marvelous. And he also had with him a 6-pack of Heineken. That was good. And he had brought his pipe and a tin of Mac Baron's Golden Extra. When something is good, I will still say, ooh, that's Golden Extra Deluxe with everything. Which is pretty good. Well, I liberated my father's old K-Woody from the junk drawer, you know, the one that takes blood sacrifice so you can get anything out of it, and loaded it up with that Mac Baron's Golden Extra, lit it, took a couple of puffs, had a sip of beer, and immediately knew what the hobbits and the dwarves and the wizards and the elves were all fighting for. They were fighting for civilization, and civilization can be summed up as a pipe and a beer had in peace with a friend. That's civilization. And that's a good thing. Well, we take it from there. I wanted to show you what I'm going to load is this beautiful Don Carlos. It's a pipe that, costs maybe 100, 150 less than a Castello. My warped opinion as a Castello collector, they smoke every bit as good. It's kind of disappointing to find that, because I think, boy, I could have been buying Don Carlos's all these years. It's okay. I still love my Castellos. That's another story I shall tell you. But I'm going to show you the mush and squink method of loading a pipe, because I knew I needed to make a video about something to do with pipes. This is Sir Richard from Gatlinburlier. It's my own blend. I brought the recipe with me when I came to work there on the 17th of April, 1986. Yes, I have a good memory for dates. You stick your pipe down in the tobacco, thus aggravating every expert within a 50-mile radius. They'll know you've done it. They can tell. And you reach 1 inch out, and you mush, and then squink from both sides. And then 1 inch out from the breech again, and mush, and squink from both sides. Then 1 inch out and mush. You can't mush anymore. And squink from both sides. Boy, you can't squink anymore either. You're going to have some loose stuff on the top. Brush that off into the bag. I didn't show you very well, but I think my description is apt enough. And we'll seal this tobacco back up. And look, it's a fully loaded pipe. And it draws perfectly. Because, and this is the wonderful thing about the mush and squink method, you start 1 inch out. Because you start 1 inch out, the first load goes in loose. And you go back 1 inch out and mush. And the second, and then the third one, 1 inch out and mush. And it gets firmer as you go up. Well, you want it. You want it like you want to be. Loose at the bottom, good dancer. Firm at the top, good thinker. You don't want to be a loose thinker. God knows there are enough of those lolling about as it is. And there always have been. You know, if everyone were a philosopher or a prophet, there wouldn't be any need for philosophers and prophets. But the fact is, hardly anyone's a philosopher and hardly anyone's a prophet. People don't seek wisdom and people don't see the Lord. Well, I'm using my St. Benedict Zippo. Remember, lighting your pipe is like instructing a child. It takes a little while to get it done the right way. Too many people are impatient about that. Too many people are impatient about a whole lot of stuff. Just between me and you. My wife, for example. Wow, what's the darn rush? But, you know, we go ahead. I may not have to tamp that for some time. And that's a really good smoke. What it is, and I brought the recipe with me when I came to work there. It's Cavendish cut barley and rough cut Virginia and a little Latakia. And some people would call that a codger blend. And I'm going to tell you, those people are kids and they don't know crap. It is not a codger blend. It is a American traditional blend. What makes it American? Well, it's that it's barley-based and not Virginia-based. The thing that makes an English tobacco, and English tobacco is not enough Latakia to tie your sinuses in knots. It's the base of Virginia that does it. That's the difference between an English blend and an American blend. They're both good. It's marvelous to smoke either, but I like these barley-based blends, and I know that I'm not alone. Well, anyway, I think that I have instructed you now in the mush and squink method in theory and practice. Go ahead, stick your pipe down in the bag. It's just fine. All of this, that's a bit much, fellas. It's just a bit much. Well, okay. We're done. God bless you each and all. Good night.